What's up, everyone? I'm so excited. We recently did a build inspired by a super famous castle. Sorry, I don't remember the name of the castle. And this is it. So I thought I'd just talk you through what we did. Okay, so I first started by kind of using the terrain tool and bumping that as high as I could because I really wanted to echo how the castle is kind of on top of, I don't know why I'm doing it like this, but it's kind of sitting on top of this like mega foundation situation, kind of that brick thing. I don't know what the technical term is for that. But I started by really focusing on just what the outside looked like and working on that front spire, the one that you can see on like the far right of the picture. While I knew that I wasn't going to be able to build that whole castle and had literally no desire to do that big of a build, I did want to just take heavy inspiration from this IRL castle as we were building this castle for our new Sims family. It is and like our occult supernatural family. We have 2 vampires, a familiar, and then a spellcaster. It was really fun to kind of get more acquainted with the vampires and Realm of Magic packs. But anyways, I digress. We'll get to that when I'm furnishing because I use most of that for furnishing. But I was really excited to kind of find out that when you put a structure on the edge of the hill like that, or on the edge of the terrain, it does really kind of look like that we're just gonna call it a mega foundation. That mega foundation, that's brick underneath that white part of this castle. And so I was really, really excited about that. I think something that I love about The Sims so much is just like the obvious creativity, but how much fun I've been having with problem solving and trying to get the game to do what I want it to do. I know I'm not alone in that. So yeah, I just kind of started by building out that perimeter and kind of echoing the shapes and the juxtapositions that I was seeing and like height and what was just standing out to me. Here I was building out this like diamond shaped situation and kind of trying to figure out the best shape for the spire. Ultimately I landed on this diamond shaped situation, which is, it looks really weird from a top, but when you're looking at it from the front, you can't really tell that it's kind of this odd, very pointy shape. And I don't know, I was just really, really proud. So here I think I start, trying to figure out that situation. I don't even know if you'd call those windows, but they're almost just like window columns. So I did find a door or a column that was similar to kind of that, but you couldn't change the like the fence that was there. And so here I am kind of trying to figure out if it would even make sense. Oh, see, it's right there, that one, the like weird fence on it. But I didn't like how the fence looked. So ultimately I was just trying out a bunch of different windows to see what would work. You can kind of see it, but something that I did try was to have like a giant enclosed room in the middle and then kind of have this outer area that would just have a bunch of archways. But ultimately I decided that like wasn't a good use of space and I just settled with using some windows. But on the back, I think this was like my most successful kind of recreation of something from that castle, which is kind of that back left portion. You can sort of see it if you like really squint your eyes. But I was so proud of this because I felt like oh my gosh, Sydnee, what's going on? I'm getting a headache. I just felt like it really matched the vibe. And while we're looking at that incredibly like erratic camera movement, there's a lot of jumping around in this video, mostly because it was a 9-hour stream that we did the build. I'm still a pretty slow builder, and so I had to speed it up really fast. And I think I was just so proud of my work that I would oftentimes like zoom all the way out and then zoom in and kind of just be like, wow, Sydnee, you're doing so good. And it's like this pulsating, and I actually got really nauseous while I was editing this because I just got a little motion sick. So this is me kind of completing that little area, and I almost ended up creating this like porch situation. I'm so proud of how it looks. I basically just did half walls with spandrels and then put some archways on the inside to kind of create some extra depth. And then here you can see that I was really we looked up a picture of the actual front of the castle. It's really interesting. It doesn't look like what you think it would look like. But I guess that it had Oh, there it is. It had some like balcony sitch. And so this is me kind of attempting to create something like that. The problem though was that I couldn't center it to the actual front of the house. And so I did all of this work just for nothing. For nothing. I'm really excited to play this family though. If you have any tips, I've never really dabbled in the supernatural in Sims 4. So if you have any tips, let me know down in the comments. When I stream on Saturdays, this is the family that we're going to be playing, or the household rather. So this took forever. I was really trying to figure out an aesthetically pleasing way to present a case of stairs or like some really spooky grand entrance to go up to like the top elevation. Took a lot, especially because I just was having such a hard time with figuring out the stairs and trying to keep everything on the boundaries of the lot. Ideally, I really wanted to do like a 3 wide. You can kind of see what I wanted to do here, except for I couldn't figure out how to like get it symmetrical on both sides. This was an option that I was really close to keeping with like the one stair coming down in the middle, but ultimately I thought it looked kind of dumb. So I just deleted the middle one and then tried to cover it with trees. Landscaping. I'm learning that landscaping is kind of our best friend in this game. Definitely a skill that I need to brush up on, but here I'm just kind of trying to finesse, make things look nice. Oh, I forgot. We also have a cat named Salem, which is so cute. And yeah, I'm really excited to play this family. And if you're not familiar with vampires, I got really into What We Do in the Shadows, which is a great show on FX. You should totally watch it or see the documentary. But I actually think the show is somehow better than the documentary, the movie. But anyways, that's how I learned about familiars. Basically, vampires, and I'm sorry, all of you big vampire fans, like, I'm probably going to butcher this lore, but you have a familiar who's basically like your human slave who just goes out and like does your errands and gets you things. And the whole catch of as to why they're doing that is because usually they want to be turned into a vampire themselves. Actually, in all cases that I've seen, like that's the goal, is you kind of are like paying your dues so that you'll be turned into a vampire. So we do have our Guillermo, who's named after the familiar in What We Do in the Shadows. As you can kind of see, I'm starting to think about the inside at this point, and build out. We have a basement as well as, I think it ends up being basement level, main level, and then top level. This really made me miss those stairs though from previous Sims games that were like the spiral staircases. They were round. They were so pretty. I used them all the time. And originally I had hoped that I could use that in that front spiral, but because I wanted like one tower that went all the way up, but it is what it is. So this is a spellcaster's bedroom. It's on the second floor. I figured since like it doesn't make sense for the vampires to live on the second floor because there's so many windows. So the spellcaster gets this bedroom, and yeah, I mostly furnished it with things from Realm of Magic and vampires, and honestly, that made it pretty easy to furnish. But here's me messing with the outside again. Those windows, man, they were really messing with me, because obviously that wall on the bottom, like cutting through the window, not super cute, but I kind of just figured like at a certain point we just have to let it go because I was not going to figure it out. I don't know if the speed build like allows you to see it, but I was excited because the bathroom of this bedroom has that weird diamond shaped like spire thing that I was talking about earlier, and we put a little toilet in there, which I thought was cute. So this is still on that second floor, and I'm kind of trying to figure out the best way to utilize the extremely odd shape of this building. And what I do when I build, I don't know how common it is. I feel like it's pretty common. Sydnee, but we are all special in our own unique way. But I had seen some stuff that I thought was good for the downstairs, and I was just placing it so I wouldn't misplace it, because I'm still kind of getting used to all of the item options that we have. So this is the familiar's bedroom. As you can see, they kind of are just in a closet. I wouldn't say that familiars are well respected in the vampire community, so that's why his bedroom is so small. But, one day he'll turn into a vampire himself, and maybe he'll have a familiar. I don't know. I don't really know the rules of engagement there. You can see we put like a little organ over there, which I was surprised and annoyed. I think The Sims 4, and maybe I'll do a video on this at some point. Also, this is me kind of building out the the basement, which is where the vampires' quarters are and kind of where they sleep. And then we also have a dungeon so that we could trap our fresh blood, fresh meals. And we purposely wanted to try and keep the dungeon kind of spooky and a little bit dark. I'm not sure if I'll get annoyed and end up adding lights when we're playing, but I did add enough lights though that it's not super, super dark. So what was I talking about? I can't remember. Sorry if I just completely cut off that story that I was saying. Oops. So yeah, this is us wallpapering everything, kind of getting things ready to start furnishing. I am really, yeah, okay, that's cute. This did kind of help me realize certain things of The Sims 3 that I really missed not having in The Sims 4. Like the fact that in The Sims 3, when you put the rails on staircases, you could choose like one side or the other. It didn't auto put both of them. And I find that The Sims 4 automatically puts rails on both sides. And a lot of times like it clips and it just doesn't really look that good, which is kind of annoying. So this little detail, you can kind of see it right now in that like artist room, is I took off the ceiling for all of the spandrels so that you could see all the way up. That was just for me. I don't know that it makes that big of a difference to anybody when you're playing, but I think it's nice. And then I do really like how this exterior turned out. Looks really good. I do wish there was a way though that front left spiral, I don't know what that's actually called, but that somebody could kind of walk all the way up there. But instead I just put this big chandelier, which I think looks nice. Oh my gosh. I remember, I don't know if anybody else gets this, but when I'm building it, maybe it's because I'm just a slow builder, but it's such a mental push sometimes because it's like the landscaping to me feels like such a chore. And then the actual furnishing, like the little details, you have to be so patient. I have so much respect for people who just feel like they add towels and they just add so many lived-in details. That's something that I want to get. Oh my gosh, Sydnee, what's going on? Oh my gosh, I'm getting like whiplash. That's something that I'd love to get better at, and I'm sure I will with time. But I really like those lanterns. There were a lot of good light fixtures to choose from. Okay, so we're saving. That's good. And we're putting some flooring down, figuring out kind of the nitty gritty of how this house is going to look. I'm so excited to play it. Oh my gosh. And there's just so many fun options. I feel like I have mostly just been building out my legacy house, which, has a certain vibe that I'm sticking to. So it was really fun to kind of stray from that and build out something that was like very, very different than that. Something that I'm trying to figure out right now is like how many rugs is too many rugs. I tend to like, I don't know if it's in my head, it's like weird to put a bunch of the exact same rug in a build because to me it reads as kind of lazy and not necessarily cohesive. But then when I put a bunch of different rugs, it just kind of feels very erratic and like there's too many rugs. Too many different types of rugs. And so I don't know, let me know what you do. I'm open to advice. I definitely would love to get better at that. So as you can see, I'm kind of taking care of that landing. What's on this second floor is we have kind of that like, I don't know what that's called, but it's like the witches like brewing area. And then we have a spell book and that spellcaster's bedroom. And then I put this little art room. I'm not really sure why. I guess in my head, the vampire, like the occult family just really they appreciate the arts. I mean, if you're gonna live to be that old and like you're supernatural, then I would assume that you pick up some hobbies. Okay, so that room I wanted there's that one table. I end up finding it later in the video, but there's that table with the little thing. I'm doing such a bad job describing it. Anyways, oh my gosh, I was falling in love with all those candles and the little candles that go on the wall, the sconce candles. I mean, is that considered a sconce? Could you imagine? It's so wild to think about how back in the day they didn't have light and you just had to walk around and go light your candles. I wonder if they used different wax or was there just like pilings of wax everywhere? That doesn't seem very practical. Seems stressful too. I wonder, were people afraid of the dark back then or have we kind of just like softened up since we have light? So many questions. So I love the wallpaper that I ended up landing on. But as you can see, I still don't know, is there too many rugs? Like I have that green rug and then you can almost see that like circular rug to the right. But yeah, so this is me kind of starting to place things and put the little doodads and the knickknacks. If I had more time, I totally would have added more of that, because I feel like I love the story of vampire homes. And I know we have a spellcaster, but in my head, this was a vampire home. I love the story of vampire homes, that it's just like they have so much stuff and they've accumulated so much stuff because like they're immortal and they never die, and so you keep accumulating and accumulating, and so I really wanted the walls to feel very like that, like they're just accumulating so much. And this wall, I think, was at the beginning of me decorating, so I had a lot of stamina to figure out the best way to do that. As we go on later, I kind of just start using bigger like pictures and sizing things up so that I don't have to take up as much wall space. But this is kind of how this is coming together, which is so fun. And then what room is that? Oh, this is the bathroom for the spellcaster. And I'm just kind of outfitting the walls with all the pictures. It's fun how many picture options there are in The Sims 4. I mean, it's been a while since I played The Sims 3, and obviously The Sims 4, like, there's certain features that I kind of prefer in The Sims 3 building. Like, I liked the music better. Is that dumb? Anyway, sorry. I made this little breakfast nook, which I think is so cute. All the little vamps and, well, I guess they wouldn't be eating breakfast there. They would eat it in the dungeon, right? Like, I don't think they like jar the blood to keep for later. I don't know, maybe they do. But I was ultimately really happy I added this little dining room at the end, because I just didn't think that it made sense for this house to be that open concept. And I felt like they should have this like grand dining hall, even though they totally wouldn't use it. But in theory, it seemed like a good idea. I feel like they want to make it seem like they're normal people and lure their prey instead of just being like, oh yeah, we like don't have anything that a conventional family would have because we're vampires. But I guess if you're already in a vampire's lair, like you're kind of doomed, kind of doomed. But anyways, so this is me placing all of this, the little decor. I definitely spend a little bit on this room to really make it feel very lived in and vampy. And then I started building out the vampire bedrooms. I guess they're still called bedrooms, even though you're sleeping in a coffin. And my thought that one would be kind of like more tidy and a little bit more like I'm a serious vampire and I don't get attached to things and just have this like elitist vampire personality, and the other one would kind of be a little bit of like not a hoarder but really enjoy like mortals and enjoy like books and kind of the human experience, if you will. So we'll get to that. I think I start furnishing that at the end. At this point, I was just trying to put things and fill up space. This is part of why I don't really like building this big of houses, because there's so much decor that is necessary for it to not just feel so empty. But there's a lot of good stuff. I really liked this toilet. For some reason, whenever I do builds, I like to have the same toilet in every bathroom. I don't know. Is that weird? I just feel like a family. Oh, see, there it is. That was the thing I was looking for. I just feel like a family would, like, why would you buy different toilets in different bathrooms? Like, it just feels like it should all be the same toilet, right? So I do use that toilet quite a bit. But again, I'm just kind of outfitting, adding some little decoration options. And I wanted everything to kind of be this like black, red, and white theme. Get it? Because like red blood and then like the black and white. I don't know. In my head, I picture what's it, the Count from Elmo or from Sesame Street, because they have like the really white face. Why do they have that face? Is it powder? Why do they do that? Was it just like of the time? I don't know. A lot of unanswered vampy questions. Oh, I was so excited when I put that up on the top. And I did end up kind of making this area right here like a TV area, just, functionality for the Sims. Figured they would want to watch TV, have something that's gonna help their fun meter. If I'm completely honest, I don't love how this office turned out. I think it just doesn't really match, But again, I was kind of getting a little bit desperate to just finish it up, and I couldn't quite find a rug that made sense to me. So I guess if you have any rug options or any ideas with that, let me know in the comments. I did love that wallpaper, the bats. They're like little bat motifs going up the wallpaper. I thought that was so fun. On the first floor, this is the first floor bathroom, and as you can see, it's a full bath. I wanted to make sure that they could shower down there, that the only shower wasn't upstairs in the spellcaster's room. But I guess all of the vampires, they each have their own bathroom as well. And so this is kind of me figuring out the kitchen situation. I am so glad that I put that dining room in there. That would have been such an atrociously large room had I not done that. It's so funny when you think about like design trends and how as I've become like older, like every design show, they knock down the wall and they want like this big open concept thing. But The Sims is really making me appreciate like galley kitchens and kind of more segmented houses. Like they just seem so cozy. I don't know what that means for me and whenever we get a house, but it does seem so cozy. And then kind of similar to at the top of the staircase, I really wanted to just fill in the walls and make it look like really there's just this collection and have it be very lived in. And then I love this fountain. Love that fountain. I had actually been trying to find a way to use it in another build that I was doing earlier this week, but I'm glad that it found a home here. I also just wasn't sure how often you can like reuse pictures where it doesn't look dumb. And did you see that picture? It was on like the left part of the screen, the giant one of the woman holding the rose. It made me think of Mario 64. I feel like there's a peach picture that it reminded me of. Maybe I'm totally making that up, but I thought it was really cute. And then here I'm kind of just outfitting the kitchen area, and I really wanted it to feel like there was a lot of space taken up. I was going to say lived in, but I did just kind of want it to feel like, taking up space is good. So again, kind of doing the cohesive toilet thing. I don't know if that's normal. Is that weird? I guess it'd be okay if the basement had different toilets. And they have matching bathrooms. I figured that they're vampires. They're not like super into aesthetics, are they? Maybe they are. I shouldn't generalize vampires, should I? And yeah, just adding some lights. I'm really, really excited for this playthrough. If you have any tips or anything that you like to do when you're playing Supernatural Sims, let me know. I'm all ears. I have zero experience doing that in The Sims 4, but I'm so excited to do that. And so this is kind of what I was talking about earlier, where I was really trying to I wanted them to feel like bedrooms, I guess, but not feel like bedrooms at the same time. So this is kind of the vampire that I thought they really have acquired possessions and are kind of enjoying and find the human experience amusing. And then the other vampire is a little bit more just they're just food and don't really care about them. And so, yeah, I started placing the spider webs. It was really hard to place them and have them look random and not super contrived, especially since there's only a handful handful. That's so weird. Try and say handful 3 times. Handful. It doesn't matter. That sounded really weird. Anyways, and not look like I was just spamming the spider webs. But yeah, so we were getting really, really close to the end here. I was so excited, put some books down, and it's been fun to do these builds because I feel like every time I build, I'm getting better and I'm, doing things a little bit differently. Something that I really want to learn is I saw in a video or in a gallery build is that they took a piece, right? And so you can press Alt and kind of move it wherever, but then they flipped it this way. And so if you know how to do that, let me know, or if it's a mod I have to download. It just seemed so cool and really smart. Oh yeah, I forgot kind of to decorate this room, and so I went in the last minute and was kind of just trying to add some things. But they're painters and they like this plant, but I'd like to think that maybe this is just Guillermo the Familiar. He just likes to go paint while the vampires are sleeping during the night, and I guess the spellcaster is just practicing or doing whatever they're doing. But Yeah, it was kind of modeled after Kendall Jenner has this AD house tour, and I love her home. And she has like a little art room like that. And so that was what I was thinking of when I was building it out. And so I think at this point I'm done, and I was kind of just showing off what I did. We had the office on the bottom, this little balcony, this bathroom downstairs, and then you keep on going. There's that breakfast nook, which I think is so cute. I love breakfast nooks. Then a dining area. There's a lot of dining areas for a house that is housing Sims who don't eat traditional food. There is bedroom 1 and bedroom 2 and bathroom 1 and 2 for the vampires. And then of course we have our little dungeon area, and there's a sink for cleanup because I'd assume it gets kind of messy if you're drinking blood for dinner. Then you go upstairs and there's this little sitting area, and it's really kind of the spellcaster's area. I loved that little porch thing. So cute. Oh my gosh. We love it. So cute. And then there's like more sitting areas. There's a spell area. There's like that big cauldron. And then this long hallway, and there's that back porch that I'm so proud of. There's the familiar's bedroom, poor guy. And then the little art room, and here's the spellcaster's bedroom. The flooring kind of clashes with the wallpaper, but I guess my thought was kind of just like, maybe they're really extravagant, like they're a maximalist. So yeah, and then that goes into the bathroom, and you can see using that like weird shape to put the toilet, and yeah, that's everything. It looks so good. I'm so proud. It's on the gallery if you want to check it out. And then every other Saturday just about we'll be playing our Supernatural family, and oh my gosh, it looks so good. I forgot what that looked like. It looks so good from like the neighborhood view. I do wish that you could add terrain paint to like the sides of terrain manipulation. I don't know, maybe you can, but I haven't figured that out yet. And yeah, thanks for going on this journey with us. I'm live playing The Sims most days. And yeah, I appreciate all of you, and I'll see you next video. Bye-bye.